As a board of resolution to consider ballots.
Tom actually does the scanning, so he knows about it.
Yeah, we started scanning on Friday, continuing to Saturday and today. We're caught up with everything they have open. I think we've scanned over 33,000 pieces of paper. There's double ballots in that town of Poland, so we'll catch up tomorrow with.
We haven't tabulated them, though, right?
No.
Okay.
can't
We
tabulate.
explained that the opening and then the process will
Sure.
happen, please.
Boards of elections around the state are allowed to process absentees, where they can open the absentee up, we can run them through an optical scanner, but what you're not allowed to do is actually tabulate those results. So the results are in the machine, but they're not tabulated and downloaded yet. That happens tomorrow at 7:30. So the public at 7:30 finds out at the same time we find out what the absentee results are.
Thank you.
Good?
That's good.
Okay.
All right, the first pack, we have 22 of them. They're torn, damaged, mutilated ballots, either by the mail, running through the scanner, they're bad cuts from the printer, and they just need to be remade.
So I move we remake those.
That's easy.
Wow.
And that happens quite a bit.
Second,
Discussion. Director, call the roll?
Mr. Monroe?
Yes.
Ms. Winbush?
Yes.
Mr. Washko?
Yes.
Mr. Beatrice?
Yes.
The second pile, the board can choose how they do, but the staff and myself sorted these by category. And this stack here, and the board, we can pass them down, are what's called true overvotes. It's where a voter will fill in more ovals than what's allowed. So in a race for one, they fill 2, race for 2, they fill 3. And what you can see is, like the first one's Attorney General, and these are consistent throughout that stack of double votes. What the manual says to do is to run those back through your optical scanner without the overvote feature on, and it will count the rest of the ballot, but not the race that was overvoted. Sometimes
What would you say, run it through and,
we run it back through. The first time, it won't count the ballot because there's an overvote on the ballot.
And it kicks it out.
It kicks that ballot out. The second time, we turn the overvote feature off. It's gonna read the whole ballot, and count those races as overvotes.
so the other races will be counted?
That's correct. Only that race that the voter chose to vote for more than what was allowed doesn't count. The rest of the ballot still counts.
I'm gonna do these as a bulk group,
Yes.
And that's us.
Yeah.
We're actually doing
as a back.
As I'm just scanning these, I'll pass it down. It looks exactly like they say, so someone wants all of people to be governor.
And there's 4 or 5 like that in there.
I move that we invalidate those that are overvoted and we scan the ballots for those that are tabulated, that are correct.
I second it.
Put that.
Yeah. Well, hang on for just a second. Let's just pass them down.
These are inadvertent marks. On every ballot. Put the rest of your pen,
Yeah.
starting to vote. Sometimes they're hard to find.
There it is.
I think we all should do these one at a time.
There's a motion and a second that these ballots with overvoted races be rescanned with the overvote feature turned off so that the remaining races can be tabulated. Any discussion? Director, call the roll?
Mr. Monroe?
Yes.
Ms. Winbush?
Yes.
Mr. Washko?
Yes.
Mr. Beatrice?
Yes.
Thank you.
stack is the inadvertent mark stack.
That's correct.
So I'm gonna pass some of these down as I look at them.
And inadvertent stack means
Okay,
what?
what this is, the voter has forward instructions on the ballot, but in a lot of cases, they've rested their pen on an oval before they chose the selection above and below. And the scanner's gonna pick up any slight mark, and it's counting these ballots as an overvote. It really isn't. As long as the ballot is consistent with the markings,
Yeah, like this one, they wrote outside of shared ground, so it looks like that's an overvote, but it isn't. See what I'm saying? That's what the scanner's picking up.
the scanner will pick up the slightest marks. Eraser marks,
Pinpoint.
pinpoints, and you're gonna see in the stack, there are pinpoints in there.
Yeah, like pinpoint here for Keith.
Do we remake these?
We do the same thing as
Yeah,
We remake these?
No,
we actually use a white sticker, we put it over the inadvertent mark, run it back through, we'll count that race in, within there, and then we keep those separated for any recounts or issues that come up. And that way you're not,
Correct.
the mark's always still gonna be there for people to look at.
Right.
Dude, this person is very careful how they mark their ballot. I don't know why this one's coming up.
Maybe too late.
Could this one be too light?
Could be too light or. I think that one's just too light.
Okay, because I don't see any inadvertent marks there.
Oh, there it is. Couldn't find this one?
That's actually just
Oh yeah,
too
here's the
light.
inadvertent mark here, I see that one.
Okay, copy ready?
I'm noticing it's mostly the people that are voting Republican are making these mistakes.
I don't think so, Mr. Davis.
This is all good.
Now,
This I think is too light. No, here's an inadvertent one here. All right, I think I've seen enough. I don't have to go through them all.
well, let me pass this one back to you, Tom. This one, I mean, I guess we couldn't find the overvote or the
We thought that was the lightness of it.
the lightness of what?
The pencil, is that a number two?
But how do you correct that then? You don't know what to
We'll
sticker
remake-
over.
We're gonna remake that whole ballot then.
Okay, so if it's not clear, the ballot will be remade.
Right, and that's standard procedure that they have. Because it was consistent how they filled it out, there's no
Yes.
double votes, there's no
Yes.
certain marks.
Okay,
Good with that.
Colored it.
This stack, the board got to decide if they wanna go as a stack or.
we'll stand by for just a second.
Go ahead.
Is there
I can listen.
a motion?
I move that the board do whatever needs to be done with those. I think they have to remake them.
No, they don't make them.
Well, I guess-
Or they use whiteout or whatever.
no, stickers.
Stickers, white stickers.
White
That way-
stickers.
yeah, that way
But the ones that have those too light,
We're gonna remake that one.
Right.
remake that one. All right, so the board, I'm instructing the employees to do whatever it is to do to make those ballots go through for the inadvertent mark or the lightness of the marking.
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second,
And the motion is that we proceed to process these ballots, putting a tab or a sticker over the intermittent marks so they can be properly counted. And if there are any ballots that, where we can't determine the intermittent mark, that those ballots will be remade. Any discussion? Director call the roll?
Mr. Monroe?
Yes.
Ms. Winbush?
Yes.
Mr. Washington?
Yes.
Mr. Beatrice?
Yes.
This stack, and we've taken these individually in the past, but we have tried to put like ones together. This is where they put in 2 ovals for 2 candidates, but then X over a candidate. And there's a directive that says you can't determine if the X says X marks a spot or is X marking out as I don't want.
You have that in front of
And most of those marks are pretty consistent. The ones that weren't consistent, we separated.
So, in my opinion, as I'm looking at this ballot, and I guess the law requires us to determine the intent of the voter. To me, the intent of the voter is a vote for John Hagan, so I don't know what you people think.
Can I,
You can't
um,
use that, can you?
when this happens, does the whole ballot become invalid,
No,
or
no,
just that race?
just the race.
Okay. This looks like that the X was done after the ovals. I don't know, do we have precedent here? I can't remember.
Well, we've
It's
gone-
not-
I'll read it to you. A Board of Elections has statutory authority to determine the intent of a voter who marked the entire ballot contrary to the instructions provided and to remake the ballot to reflect that intent. If a voter failed to mark any of the ballot according to the instructions printed on the ballot, the Board of Elections by majority vote in public session must determine voter intent before remaking the ballot. Voter intent is determined by examining the ballot for a mark that was consistently made contrary to voting instructions. If a voter marked the entire ballot contrary to instructions provided, the board must follow the guidelines set forth in RC 3506.21 to determine voter intent on that ballot. Any of the following marks of a majority of those marks are made in a consistent manner throughout an optical scan ballot shall be counted as a valid vote.
I think we've got to look at what the intent of this voter is. Okay? Now, as I look at this ballot, this person is obviously a Republican, because they voted for every Republican on here.
Just means they're smart.
Well, whatever. And I know that John Hagan is the Republican candidate for the school board. So to me, it looks like they marked Melissa and then realized that John Hagan was the Republican. That's what it looks like to me.
I agree with that.
I mean, I think you just can't look at that one race.
So, as we go through this, it's, can you, I mean, does it mean that they exited out because they didn't want it?
That's how I would interpret that
That's the
one.
determination of you. That's your
Yeah.
determination, not ours.
I think the problem with, and we have been down this road before, I think the issue is, we cannot know ourselves
The intent?
whether this voter intends to say, I want to vote for Melissa, I voted twice, so I'm going to put an X there to indicate that's what I wanted, or I blackened 2 ovals and I didn't want to vote for Melissa, so I'm going to X it out. We have no way of knowing reliably what the voter's intent is in this case. And what we've done in the past, we've looked at these situations and we've treated these as true overvotes, simply because we really cannot know the intent of the voter.
I'm the new person here,
You're
and
not
as
that
I was
new.
told, that they told me this would be an overvote in the last several sessions. Because we didn't know intent.
That's consistent with how you vote.
That's what we've done in the past, and I wouldn't want to be inconsistent.
And truthfully, that whole batch is,
Yeah.
Well, as a board, let's adopt a standard then. Let's not, let's do this.
And we've always, in the past, since I've been here, we call this an overvote.
Yeah, the history has been that these are treated as overvotes. That's been the history.
And so just that race is not counted?
Correct.
That is correct. That would simply be counted as an overvote.
I think if I can add something, you're seeing the next stack that has to be taken individually. We have some of those X's, but then they're actually circling names, crossing out names, which I think you're gonna get a better feel of that vote.
That's separate from these.
This is separate. These are individual that has to be taken, we believe.
All right, so this is where there's just an X over something, right?
right.
Correct. Sounds like there might be some more evidence on this next
The
stack.
next stack you have to move on.
I agree with Mark, I agree with Chairman.
I make a
Romero on
motion
that.
that we count these all as overvotes, we remake the ballots, or run these back through and count the ones that have an X through the spot as an overvote.
And there's a previous director under Jennifer Bruner who said that X's would be counted as overvotes, but it's not in effect that it's started carrying weight with the states.
But it
All right.
was in the past, correct?
That was in the past, right?
Now, these are the ones we have to.
Because I can't,
name
we
and
don't know.
Yeah, I think it should go pretty quick, actually.
Really?
I think so.
Maybe.
Let's wait till we vote on this one, please.
Yeah, just,
No. You can start.
Something like that.
I don't know what it means.
That's all right.
So, to keep this going, so we're not here all night, as I look at this, I'm gonna pronounce who I vote, and someone keep a tally.
Okay, just
Wait,
hang on,
wait
Dave,
1 minute,
hang on,
please, we're not
hang
through
on.
these.
hang
Oh,
on.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Okay,
I made a motion.
okay,
Did you?
I thought I did.
you did make, was there a second to Tracy's motion?
I did, I thought I
I
said.
thought you did too.
Okay. The motion is that these races that have been double voted, including an X, be treated as simply as true overvotes, be processed accordingly. Director call the roll?
Mr. Monroe?
Yes.
Ms. Winbush?
Yes.
Mr. Wasko?
Yes.
Mr. Beatrice?
Yes.
Tom, I would like you to call out the precinct before you hand the ballot over so we can, I can move on. I can write the voting down.
In the race,
Yes, the precinct in the race.
okay.
That would be great.
All right. Boardman 3, State Board of Education.
I say this is a vote for John Hagan.
John Hagan.
John Hagan.
John Hagan.
Beaver 3, County Court.
This is like an X out, in my opinion.
Yes.
It's like an X out. I say this is an overvote.
Yeah, I agree.
Case
Overvote.
is different. And I'll just turn them over right there.
Overvote.
Overvote.
Boardman 7, County Commissioner. Pretty easy one.
I think this is a vote for Carol Remedy over Getty.
Vote for Carol Regetti.
Vote for Carol Regetti.
Vote for Carol Regetti.
Boardman 4, County Court.
I think this is a vote for Kathy McNabb Welsh. I think that's an inadvertent mark, in my opinion.
It's a nervous voter.
Just the way they were marking their ballot. wasn't it?
Yeah. Kathy McNabb Welsh.
They never said this would be easy, Tracy. Kathy McNabb Rush.
I would say so.
Right, this is,
Beaver 1, Issue 3.
I would say this is a vote for the levy.
Vote for the levy.
For the levy.
For the levy.
What's this one?
Youngstown 4F, State Board of Education.
I think this is one of those X marks.
Overvote.
I think this is an overvote.
It wasn't consistent with the other X's.
That looks like an X to me.
Overvote.
Overvote.
overvote?
This is a yes.
4D, next on water.
I think this is a yes.
A yes vote. Looks like they even initialed it.
Yeah. Like the bank?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes vote.
Next on 5F, Commissioner.
I think this is an overvote.
I can go either way on this one. These X's.
Commissioner?
Yeah. Look at the X's.
They all have X's.
Yeah.
Except that one.
But that one
Has
says
a-
overvote.
Yeah, that's,
That's an overvote.
that's an
That's how
overvote.
I look at it. How are you looking at it, Mark?
It's,
I'm gonna call it an overvote.
yeah, that's an overvote.
I'll go with an overvote.
6A, Issue 1.
I'm gonna say that's a yes vote.
Yes vote.
Can we back up?
Yeah.
On the last one, if you look at the ones with the X's through it, but on the back of the ballot, they didn't put X's through when they voted.
Well, we marked it as an overvote.
I know, but I'm saying they all,
Yeah, but over here, they didn't put X's either.
right.
So that's why we marked it as overvote. On some of the races, they put an X.
So do we count the X's or,
The point is not consistent.
right,
You can't know.
okay, thank you.
6A.
Wait a minute.
Oh, stand by.
Oh, we have another one?
This one right
Oh,
here.
Just issue one.
Yeah, issue 1, yes.
Yes.
6A, Issue 2.
Kind of makes you long for the Ivotronic, you know?
Not on recounts.
Well, that's a good point.
Point taken.
Point well taken, yes.
I don't know if that means that's the one they want or that's the one they don't want.
That means
I would say it's an overvote, but I see their initials there.
Okay, so what does that mean?
That means they wanted against the levy.
I don't know if that's what it means.
Well, I guess I don't either.
I
I
think
say
that's
an
an
overvote.
overvote.
Okay,
That looks like an overvote to me. I don't know if that means that's the one they want or the one they don't
Don't
want.
want.
See,
But they're putting parentheses and an X.
but if the intent's not clear, it's,
So they're better off, if they did this, they're better off, like, they're better off just.
Yeah.
Right.
that would have made it clear.
Gotta take the pins away. Let me
show how
it's done.
That's overvote.
overvote.
3F, Governor. The senator is actually a double bubble, counts for Sherrod Brown, so the board doesn't have to make a determination on that. But for governor,
That's a vote for Rick Cordray. Because they voted for Rick Cordray and then they wrote in Rick Cordray and Betty Sutton.
I did that.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
we're not doing
that looks like a,
Yes. that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cordray.
that. 3D, Issue 3.
Question, Sherrod Brown? They did the same thing with Sherrod Brown as they did with Betty Sutton and.
so you can interpret their intention.
The double bubble accounts when they vote for the candidate.
Right, that's also,
Okay.
that's a vote for Sherrod Brown.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this is for the levy because the voter says no on that one, so that's clearly an
I
intention.
agree.
It's clearly
Or
intended,
levy.
you know?
Well, when they say no and they point to that one, that means no.
No,
And there's an exclamation mark by it,
yeah, I think they mean no. They really don't want it.
for the levy.
So this is the,
3B, Clean Water.
I think this is a yes vote.
yes vote.
Yes.
What are we looking at on this one?
1B Court of Appeals, 1B
Yes.
Court of Appeals, Joyce.
I think this is an overvote. I think this is like an X. They just didn't put an X. I mean, that's an overvote in my opinion.
Overvote.
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 3A Secretary of State and Treasurer.
Well, I think that's Rob Richardson and Kathleen Clyde. And I think there's a mark there for Rick, but that should be a vote for
Yeah.
Carol Remedio.
Mark.
So my vote on this one would be Kathleen Clyde, Rob Richardson, and Carol Remedio Rigetti.
I agree.
I agree.
5B Charter Amendment.
I don't know what the hell that is. That's an overvote. You figure that one out.
Over.
Overvote.
Right.
Oh, hang on,
I gotta go.
hang on.
The one that you said with Kathleen Clyde, Richardson, and Carol Rigetti,
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought the law said it had to be consistent. And so you have, everything else is a circle oval except for the X's in here.
It says we're supposed to determine the voter's intent.
That's what I'm asking.
Well, I think the voter intended to vote for Kathleen Clyde Richardson and Carol Remedio Rigetti.
Carol Rigetti, I'm quite sure, but it's inconsistent with how they voted.
Well, consistency is just one of the clues to look at.
Okay,
It's
All
not,
right.
it's not the only clue.
2B Charter
Oh,
Amendment.
hang on.
2B or 5B?
Hang on.
2D.
it's an overvote.
2 what?
D.
Am I still on the charter amendment?
I think we just did that
Overvote,
one.
okay. I'm sorry, 2D now, right?
Yeah, Charter Amendment.
Okay.
Which one are we looking at?
Bottom.
I think this is a yes vote.
I agree with the yes vote.
Oh, I see, we're down here.
Yes,
Yes.
Boardman 37 Governor, it's the double bubble issue where it counts.
That's a vote for Rick Cordray.
And that's by directive that we count that.
Yeah.
I probably should have put that in there.
Cordray did the same thing to Sheriff Brown, the same thing.
But they didn't vote. They just wrote the name in, but didn't vote.
Yeah, if the machine kicks that out as a double vote.
Correct. Cordray.
Cordray.
Right, 3F Governor.
I think to be consistent, it's an overvote for governor.
And you put their initials here, I'm impressed with that, but
But what does that mean?
I know. Over.
Yeah, we don't know what it means. Overvote.
Overvote.
Right, Austintown 17, Issue 1.
I can't determine that.
Really?
Do you think that's a yes vote?
Yeah. Circled, X,
No, the X down here.
right, X, no.
You got your sense on
Circled,
me?
yes.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right, I agree, it's a yes vote. You can
Yes
just-
vote.
Yes vote.
Yes vote.
Austintown 17 Governor, it looks like a double bubble issue, but the machine kicked it out and the staff thought you should look at it.
No, that's a Mike DeWine vote.
Mike DeWine.
Mike DeWine.
Mike- Mike Tawan.
Campbell 3A governor, in similar sentiments.
Yeah, I think this is a Mike DeWine vote. Yeah.
Is this happening all across Ohio, Barry?
Yes, it is.
Unless they get up in the morning.
Huh?
There's some boards that wake up in the morning,
5 a.m.,
5 a.m.
5:30, yeah.
All boards are always changing.
Really?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Now, do you remember those hours?
I do,
I think everyone
Those?
can say it,
Yes,
I'm
I
ready
do.
to John Houston.
Yes, I do.
No, I don't think you can
No,
interpret
I
that.
know that,
I was.
don't you think it sort of looks like that?
Sort of looks that way, but
Yeah.
you can't interpret
How about the
that.
other board
That's a
members?
Mike DeWine vote.
It looks like a vote for
Yeah,
Houston.
never slept.
I'm sorry, Tom, which race are we looking at?
This
one.
The governor's race.
That's what I
Looks
thought,
like.
yeah. That's how I thought too.
That's
Mike
the one.
DeWine, yeah.
Choice 5C
DeWine.
charter.
Okay, that's a no vote. I mean, I like when they do that. That's like revoke.
We knew that, but we still bring it to you.
I mean,
Right.
that's pretty clear what the
No
voters'
vote.
intent there is.
We're still required to bring it to us.
No vote.
As is this one.
No
too.
vote.
I mean, it's a no, not a no
7G.
vote.
No.
I want
7G,
yes.
Issue 1.
Which one is?
7G.
Issue 1.
I think the voters' intent's pretty clear. I want yes.
Yeah. Yes vote.
I want yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Choice 7G, clean water.
Smells.
I want yes.
Smells of marijuana.
I want no.
I want yes.
She wants yes, and it's the same initials. I want yes, I want no, HB.
No,
Oh,
sir.
it's back in the
Yeah.
ballot, second ballot,
Oh, yeah,
second ballot.
no.
I want no.
And I mean it.
No.
Boardman 32, state rep.
I think that's an overvote. In my opinion, that's like an X. What do you guys think?
Overvote.
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 Austintown 9 county courts.
See, now this is a little different to me. This, I'm gonna interpret as a vote for A. Ross Douglas. I think this person's trying to scratch out that vote. It's not just an X over it.
Overvote. Overvote.
Yeah.
Staying consistent.
Well, I'm gonna vote that that's a vote for A. Ross Douglas. You guys can vote however you want.
Staying consistent, I think it's a no.
I like it, but it's not consistent.
But we haven't seen this before.
That's a unique kind of a mark.
Yes, it is.
It's not an X.
It's not an X.
I can go either way. Convince me.
Well, it's not an X. It's like, no, not this one.
Right. Like Ross Douglas. But we need 3 votes for that. to
I'll say
change.
Ross Douglas.
Overvote. I'm consistent.
That's fine.
Boardman 31 governor, that's an easy one.
I
What
want
is,
no.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch it before.
Boardman 31 governor.
Yeah, I think this is a vote for Rick Cordray. They filled in Houston and DeWine and then wrote no. So that's, I think that's a pretty easy one to determine.
Yep, Cordray.
I know that's gonna kill you, Mark, but
Cordray.
I like you saying that name, Mark.
1C, issue 1.
Now you're confused with that one?
See?
I think that's a no vote.
Yeah. Based on the assumption, no vote.
It's consistent.
Yeah, I agree.
No.
No vote.
1B, issue 2.
So I think this is against the tax levy, because when they put the X in, they put no and then their initials, so that gives us an indication that they did not want that one. I think the no is the differentiating one there with the X.
That's an overvote.
No, they wrote
Okay,
no.
they did write no.
I say it's against the
Okay.
levy.
No, I think that makes the difference.
They wrote no.
Yeah, they wrote no. Against the levy.
Board 122, commissioner.
That's an overvote in my opinion.
Good choice. The original iVotronic didn't have a paper trail.
Yeah, that's right, the first one did not.
That's a vote for Carol Rigetti.
In that damn Democrat.
You guys are always causing problems.
Carol, we're getting.
Carol.
Don't tell Carol, for the love of God, don't tell Carol.
You can still change.
Change your vote right now.
Beloit 1, issue 3.
What the heck is this? Is that an initial there? That's an overvote in my opinion.
Overvote.
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 Springfield 1, issue 2.
Against the levy.
Against the levy.
Against the levy.
Against the levy.
Poland 7, joint fire district.
For the levy.
For the levy.
For the levy.
For the levy.
Poland 5, auditor of state.
Well, I'm gonna be consistent and say that's an overvote based on my last one, but I think you guys are gonna overrule me.
I think that's a votes for favor.
Yeah, since the voter is lined out Zach's base. Favor.
Next on 6G,
Favor.
county commissioner. Sorry, Tracy, 6G, county commissioner choice.
This looks like an X marks the spot one. I think that's an overvote.
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 Milton 2, just put Milton 2. Think we know what to do. I saved the best for last.
Don't know any of these folks, thank you.
This better be good when it.
It's a good one. This is the best. This is
I
the
don't think I've
best.
ever seen that.
I don't think I've ever seen that
That's why I
either.
put it last.
Yeah.
So I would say none of these on the right side get counted at all.
So they're undervotes.
The undervotes?
I think they're undervotes, yeah.
Oh, yeah, undervote.
Have you ever seen that one, Mark? You've been sitting here probably the
No,
longest.
I'll forgive.
Don't
They get
know
tired.
these folks.
Don't know these folks. Thank you.
Well, I think the machine will consider these overvotes. though.
Those are
Overvote?
undervotes.
They voted, there's a mark in every spot. The machine will say, this is an overvoted ballot. That these races are overvoted.
I don't think it makes a difference either way.
No.
We're gonna have to remake that, we can't run that in this.
Yeah.
It won't make it, huh?
No,
How about I put under and over?
Under and over, that's true.
Is that it?
that's it,
Sure.
that is it.
That was just a-
We'll have more tomorrow night though, after we run the remainder of the ballots.
I move we go to recess.
What time, I need to know what time we need to be back here.
I think probably if we're gonna do this took 45 minutes, since this was a lot, so we won't have this made by 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay, 6 o'clock.
Anything else, Joyce, or that?
That's it, sir.
Don't know any of these folks.
This board will stand in recess.
Yeah.
Until 6 PM or earlier if you call over the chair.
Can I tell the board something? The press has been overly aggressive this time.